As someone that thinks platonically before romantically, this is going to be quite something to think about.
Your hat is ruining you, sir. Hee hee ha ha, hello, me, and today we are doing something a little bit different. It's been a week since the full release of Coral Island as a recording, and I have literally so many hours in the game. So today what we are doing is ranking all the dateable characters from S to D, because quite frankly there is no F. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So this is my ranking dateable list. I was able to make this list on my own for the first time. Usually how I do this is I do a PowerPoint presentation. I love PowerPoint so much, but I decided to switch things up a bit today, because believe it or not all datables were created equal. So we're going to start with the humans, alphabetical order. So that means that we are starting with Aaliyah. So this is Aaliyah. Her birthday is spring 22. And her favorite gifts that are easy to get in the early game are white hibiscus, strawberries, and chocolate chip muffins. I usually gift her chocolate chip muffins because they're the easiest thing to get early game. You can get them at Raj's coffee shop pretty easily. And of course there is a universal loved gift of the pink diamond. But everybody except for Jim adores those. So don't gift Jim any pink diamonds. She lives at Fish and Sips. It's always so hard to say. She is Noah and Frank's sister and Betty's daughter. She's an ex-military pilot. She's super active, and most of the time you can catch her playing beach volleyball with Chaem. So in my opinion, she's a super easy person to befriend. She's super adorable. What sets this game apart from games like Stardew Valley is that almost every single character is nice to you right off the bat. So there's absolutely no like, you newcomer, ew. That was a refreshing thing. So she, of course, starts off being extremely kind to you. I'm gonna put her in A, just because, well, it's my tier list. I don't think that she is S rank, and in my opinion, S rank is someone that I would personally want to have a playthrough dating. Just for the lulz. I haven't actually dated or married any characters. The reason for that is because I have my eyes set on one of the characters that are not implemented properly yet, so more on that later. Our second character is Alice. So this is Alice. She is a twin. She's Suki's twin sister. Her birthday is the 27th of winter, and she lives at the Coral Inn and runs it with her sister Suki, her twin sister. So most of the time she's pretty nice. She has kind of like a basic personality in my personal opinion. And she's a fan favorite. As of right now, there's like a popularity contest going in, so if you're not involved, you should look it up. For the Dateables, they're having a popularity contest, but in my opinion, she's kind of bland. She does like conspiracy theories, and she likes to read. I also like to read, but it's not like a thing, really. One of the reasons why I'm kind of off-put by her, and not just neutral, is that she said that she thinks that pizza is overrated. She's a pretty easy-ish person to gift items to. Her loved item is a green smoothie, olive oil, and almond oil. Olive and almond oil are kind of late game, and you can't really get green smoothies until you upgrade your house to have a kitchen. So she's a bit meh to gift, and she doesn't really like pizza. She says that pizza is overrated. So just for that alone, I'm putting her in D tier. Sorry. She's just not my cup of tea. As a fellow bibliophile, they're just far more interesting characters. Like her twin sister. But more on her later. Moving on to my fellow hippie dippy friend Ben. I'm a bit biased because my favorite animal is a duck, and he actually has a pet duck named Fun Bucket, and they're so adorable. And he's so adorable with Fun Bucket. It's a whole thing. Anyway, his birthday is the 22nd of spring. He is a merchant, and he lives in his caravan, which is up in the hillside area. He's super easy to befriend, as his favorite gifts are most mushrooms, which is easy forage, super duper easy to find. He's super chill and he is like a wanderer at heart. So sometimes for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks in the fall, he actually goes on a road trip and like you can't find him. So like if you're trying to find him in fall, sometimes I forget that he goes away and I'm like, where did he go? I need to give him this present. And like he's not there because he is a wanderer. He is a merchant, so he comes back with like a whole bunch of goods, and you can actually get a lot of discounted items at his caravan. He really likes music festivals and green tea, so that's another easy gift you can get from Raj's coffee shop. And as I mentioned before, every single mushroom is his favorite. He adores them. I personally think that he's pretty good. The only thing is that, in my personal opinion, his heart events are a bit, like, interesting. A lot of them revolve around Fun Bucket, who I adore, but he's not, I wouldn't go out of my way, basically, to date him. Next up is one of the resident doctors, Charles. So I don't really care for Charles. He has allergies, so he's one of those people. I also have seasonal allergies, but he's like, don't give me any flowers. So one time I accidentally gave him violets, which by the way, don't give any NPC violets, they all despise them. And he's like, achoo, he's like anything but flowers, and I thought that was funny. But his birthday is the 4th of winter. He is a doctor at the clinic, and he lives on the First Main Avenue, which is with his roommate Scott. His favorite gifts are cookies, blueberries, and strawberries. Cookies, once again, are easy to get at Raj's caravan. Raj. Cookies are easy to get, once again, at Raj's coffee shop thing. And personally, I think that his heart scenes are quite boring, but I don't necessarily despise him. So he is going to be put into the C category because he's a doctor. Yeah, he's a doctor, which is a step above Alice. I don't really feel very strongly about him, but I don't slightly dislike him. Next on the chopping block is Chaem. She is who Aaliyah, or Lily, I can never pronounce things. She's who Aaliyah plays volleyball with mostly. Her birthday is fall 6th. She's a athlete and a lifeguard, and she's super duper sweet. She lives at the observatory. Her favorite gifts are pizza, basil pesto pasta, veggie ramen, and seafood ramen. Pizza and basil pesto pasta are quite easy to get at fish and chips, so for an early game, easy friendship, she's one of those perfect people to just immediately befriend. I personally enjoyed her heart scenes without spoiling too much. It has to do with her athleticism. In my opinion, she's super yes, so I'm gonna put her in S, just cause she's just vibes. Next on the chopping block is our dear friend Eva. So Eva works at Sam's as a baker. Her birthday is the 13th of summer. And she's also extremely easy to befriend, as her favorite gift is cookies, which once again you could get literally in so many places. I even found cookies in the garbage can once. So she also likes red velvet cake, orchids, and peonies. So she's yet another easy to befriend character. She's super positive, and one of my favorite events in the game have to do with her. So she's super yes. She's quite honestly a little ray of sunshine, so I'm gonna put her in A. I wouldn't go out of my way to date her, but she is definitely up there. Next is Kenny, one of my personal favorites once again. Just as a character, he's super hysterical. Not hysterical. He's super lovable, and he plays the flute. His birthday is the 9th of spring. He's a rancher, and he lives at the Hunter's Cabin with his mom Kira and his dad Jack, who are another one of my favorite 2 characters in the game. I usually catch him in the ranch, playing his flute to the creatures. His favorite gifts are lychee, soybeans, and green tea. Green tea is easy to get. Once again, super easy to befriend. So for that alone, I'm just gonna keep him in A. It's where he belongs. He's among friends. Actually, let me whoa. I didn't mean to do that. Let me just move everybody down a little bit. Your hat is ruining you, sir. The only thing that I don't really like about Kenny is his facial expressions when you give him his, like, a favorite gift. I don't know, like, it's just kind of icky, the facial expression. But other than that, he's super sweet character. And in my opinion, his hard events are, like, one of the most interesting ones in the game. He's tied, in my opinion, with Zarah for the most interesting cutscenes. Next is my twin Leah. She is one of the few characters that start off a bit standoffish. She is a yoga instructor. Her birthday is the 27th of summer. 27th, whoa. Her birthday is the 24th of summer. And as I mentioned, she's a yoga instructor at the community center. She lives with her dad, Randy, and her stepmother, Ling, and they have, like, kind of a strained relationship. She lives in a legit mansion. She's, like, an heiress. So that's, like, the vibes that she gives. But she's nowhere near as mean as Haley from Stardew Valley is in the beginning, and one of her hobbies is photography. Her favorite gifts are smoothies and hot cocoa. Hot cocoa, once again, you can just get at the coffee shop. And smoothies are super duper easy to make as soon as you get your kitchen. Because I usually play the game with the same shade of hair as her, because you tend to play in my Nugget era, I'm going to put her in C, because I wouldn't personally date her. She's, like, stuck in, like, friend zone. So, actually, we'll put her... No, because I don't think that she's just boring, as Alice is. So, we're going to put her in C, but I wouldn't go out of my way. You know, it just dawned on me that my criteria is all over the place. But you can't tell me anything, because this is my tier list, and I get to make the decisions. So, cry about it. Next on the chopping block is our good friend Lily. So Lily is a programmer, I'm pretty sure. Her birthday is the 19th of fall. She lives with her dad, Jim, who I told you don't give him pink diamonds, and her brother, Theo. She's pretty techie and, like, one of those types. She usually works inside, so you have to usually go out of your way to find her. And in the early game, it's hard to, like, really interact with her because she doesn't leave her room, it seems. It's giving Sebastian. She's the Sebastian of this game. Her favorite gifts are pancakes, taro roots, and onigiri, which are easy things to make but not really to find. Luckily, though, she actually dislikes most crops, so she's one of those characters. She's a little harder to befriend than the previous people that we've mentioned. Sometimes she stays at the abandoned villa with her friend Nina. And more on Nina later. She likes bonsais also, which is interesting because they have bonsais outside their house. So you'll see her tending to them on the rare occasions where she leaves the house. But in my opinion, she's kind of down in, like... Well, I know that there's a lot of people that adore her, but in my opinion, there are just so many better options. So I'm gonna just put her down there with her friend Alice. Well, I don't even really think they're friends. I've never seen them interact. Next is Luke. He lives at a rival farm with his parents. Bree and Walter. His birthday is the 16th of fall, and he works at Socket Electronics. So most of his cutscenes have to do with him starting that business. He has a dog named Taco, and he's, like, super, like, in love with Taco and adorable with him. But he's not really that interesting a character, in my opinion. He's also quite easy to befriend, but only when you get a kitchen. His loved gifts are butter croissant, apple wine, and tomato soup. I usually spam him with butter croissants as soon as I get that kitchen. So I'm gonna put him in B, just because he's better than these guys, but, like, definitely I don't like him enough to consider him A tier. So this is Macy. Macy actually has a blue lobster, and that's my favorite thing about her. I'm pretty sure... Well, I was gonna say that the blue crab's name was Sebastian. Is that his name? Let me look it up. So, her blue lobster's name is Steven, not Sebastian. My brain was so stuck on The Little Mermaid. But she is a photographer that lives at the Coral Inn. She likes taking pictures, playing video games, and just, like, most of her hard events have to do with photography and just, like, sending things back to her parents. She also seems like the travel-y type. Her favorite gifts are literally any type of wine, pizza, fruit tart, and blue and rose quartz. the fruit tart and pizza are easy to get at Fish and Chips, and she's super duper like yes just for having a blue crab. I keep calling it a blue crab. She's super yes. She needs to be on the same tier as Ben because I just adore them just for the fact of like that they have like pets that are animals that I super like. So she's gonna be right there in the A tier. As I've mentioned previously on this channel and even in this video, I am an avid reader of books. So this is Mark. He is a member of the BOS and he volunteers at a shelter on his free time. His birthday is the 18th of spring and he's super duper sweet but also like starts off standoffish and kind of sassy. As you befriend him, you start to realize that you have fallen into the trap of the sassy man apocalypse. He is so unbelievably sassy and it kind of is giving enemies to lovers, and he's got a scar on his face, so it's like kind of yes, but at the same time it's kind of like icky. He's a little icky in the only way that a straight white man can be, and I'm assuming that he's straight even though he's got a body of a bear just because of his behavior. He built like a bear though. He lives with the wildlife enthusiasts, so that's Anne, Paul, and his niece Zoe. Anne and Paul are his siblings-in-law. Anne is his sister and Paul is his brother-in-law, and Zoe of course is his niece. He has like that whole thing going on when you meet him immediately in the beginning of the game. It's usually when the caverns start to open, and that interaction put like a sour taste in my mouth. But then there's this like thing where if you randomly talk to him, you'll be like why? He's like, why are you staring at my scar? And let me tell you, I did blush. I don't want to give any spoilers. Just talk to him. Just randomly talk to him one day, and maybe he'll say it to you, like when you get to talk about his scar to him. His favorite gifts are shiitake, hot cocoa, and tomato soup, which are all super easy to get early game. Shiitakes are literally like all over the place. I usually just stockpile mushrooms just to immediately befriend him, because I don't want to like him, but my toxic romance book brain is telling me to put him in S tier. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put him up there. Don't come for me. This is my tier list. I get to see what I want. I'm just immediately gonna put Millie in A tier for now, but she is one of my favorite characters in the entire game, period. She is a librarian, so like fellow bibliophile, and she also likes to birdwatch, which is super adorable. I personally like the nicknames that she calls you throughout the game. It's super duper cute. I'm like, oh, it's so like, sorry, I need to fix it, so that's bothering me. Anyway, she's super sweet, and she has also another one of my favorite cutscenes where you track down a mysterious flower. So her favorite gifts are melon, sugarcane, and veggie ramen. Melon and sugarcane are super easy to get. So sugarcanes especially, because it's like you get so much of it in the early game. So I don't know if I want to put her in S tier or A tier. I'm like kind of torn. She likes to call you Golden Moth and Golden Hawk, which is super cute, because I've never like heard anybody say anything like that before. That probably has to do with the fact that this is an Indonesian game, so there's gonna be like some cultural like things that I probably don't catch on to. Anyway, next is Miss Nina, and I have a conspiracy theory about her actually, because I am in the firm belief that she is secretly a mermaid. She is secretly a mermaid. She doesn't come out in the rain, just like Elliot, and she like mysteriously like just appears out of nowhere in summer, and she's just like, I'm gonna live at the Coral Inn, and then she like moves in a year later into the mansion, which is like she likes to hang out with Lily there, obviously. Her birthday is on the 24th of winter, and she's also like super friends with like Suki and Lily. Something that I didn't mention is that apparently you're friends with the twins, and like she has something to do with like the farm. Nina has something to do with the farm, and like apparently like we all knew each other as kids when I went to go visit when the player character used to visit their grandfather, and so apparently she knows us. But like it's kind of mysterious, so I don't want to spoil too much. She loves every kind of juice and banana fritters, and one of the easiest thing to get for her is actually the flower bouquet. You learn how to make it early in the game, so like if you want to raise your friendship with Nina immediately, just get her the flower bouquet. But of course, as a mermaid, she has to be like up there, But in my opinion, I don't really like her personality that much. She's like one of those people that like kind of give like big sister vibes. She's like, oh, thank you, hun. Oh, that's like, it's like, oh, thank you, dear. You're so very sweet. So I'm gonna put her in the B tier just because it's kind of like mid. But not, I don't dislike her. And I don't actually dislike Leah either, but she's just like, I would not touch these people. C to D tier, I would not touch them. D tier is like, I wouldn't even bother befriending them. If I weren't such a completionist, I wouldn't even bother talking to them. Next up is Noah. I actually don't like Noah at all. I don't know why, it's just something about the vibes. I don't like him at all. So, spoiler alert, probably not gonna put him in the top ranks. His birthday is the 10th of winter and he lives at the local tavern. Like I mentioned before, he lives with his siblings Frank and Aaliyah and his mom Betty. He takes care of his mom for the most part. And like he likes to talk about the theories, the space theories with Alice most of the time. But like Alice, he kind of doesn't have a personality. There's a part when you have to get, where he asks you to get something for him. And I didn't appreciate how he went about it. So I'm legit just gonna put him in the D tier. So it's like, I kind of just I don't think I would talk to you if I didn't have the chance to. But his favorite gifts are gnocchi, sushi, and durian. Oh, and also a sunny side up egg. I didn't know that before. I'm looking at his wiki because I don't know much about him. Next is Pablo, one of the blacksmiths. He lives at the blacksmith's with his brother Rafael. His birthday is the 27th of spring, and his cousin is actually Antonio, which is weird. Antonio is Valentino, who is Suki's daughter's dad. I feel like the story is so complicated, but if you play the game, you know what I mean. His favorite gift is pizza, and he's super easy to like befriend because he likes most pickled things. He likes pumpkin pie, fried rice, maple syrup. He's pretty easy to befriend. But he reminds me so much of my cousins in Brazil that it kind of is like so icky to me. So I'm gonna just immediately put him in the C tier. I don't despise him, so I wouldn't go at it like I would. Let me explain my reasoning for tiering people a little better because my brain is so all over the place all the time. That's the ADHD. So these I'm putting in C tier, the people that I would befriend but not want to like go out of my way to date. These people I probably wouldn't go out of my way to talk to them either. But I am a perfectionist, so I will befriend everybody. But this is not like, these are not my faves. Let me just like move these characters around just a little bit because I feel like coming up is Rafael, who is his brother, so same deal. He's super duper sweet. So yeah, this is Rafael. He's super duper sweet. But like I said, like they remind me of my cousins. And actually their last name is Sanchez. They remind me of my Brazilian cousins, and their last name is like my Puerto Rican cousin's last name. So it's like, not cool. I don't feel like doing that. He is another blacksmith. His birthday is the 4th of fall, and his favorite gifts are sashimi and onyx. He's kind of an introvert, so like Pablo is kind of like flirty and like the extroverted one, and Rafael is like quiet and reserved. So it's like the two sides of the spectrum, but like they both remind me of my family, so it's kind of gross. Oh no, I keep moving this around and it's so annoying. Okay, hopefully my grandfather doesn't yell at me for being too loud. Next is Raj. Whoa, I can't. Okay, let me just like size him down. Okay, there we go. Good. Anyway, this is Raj. They are, I'm pretty sure, the only non-binary character in the game. So they use they, them pronouns. They own the coffee shop and are super easy to befriend. And their birthday is the 22nd, whoa. Their birthday is the 2nd of winter. And his favorite gifts, I'm like so flustered. Coffee bean, tea leaf, coffee, and donuts. I think that they nerfed the coffee though, because I have gifted them coffee since, and it doesn't seem to be like loved. So I think that coffee is one in their liked category now. They do love the geisha coffee beans, which you get a little later in the game. But they also enjoy donuts, apparently. I'm just looking at the wiki because I don't know. Their cutscenes are also kind of boring. So I'm gonna put them in the C tier. Just because it's like I wouldn't go out of my way. I have such terrible allergies, so I apologize for that. Next is Scott. Scott works at the museum. His favorite gifts are any type of geode. His birthday is the 20. Whoa, I keep saying 20. I keep starting with 20. His birthday is the 12th of spring. He's kind of like icky also. I would not go out of my way to befriend him. He's super easy to befriend just because, like, just give him any geodes that you have, like, to spare. But in the early game, you're not going to want to give him your geodes because you're trying to complete the museum. Hello! But, he likes to hang out at the tavern, so he's pretty easy to find most days. And if he's not at the tavern, he's probably at the museum. So next is Alice's twin, Suki. She's a single parent to her daughter, Valentina. She actually has stretch marks, which I think are super cool. Her birthday is the 27th of winter, just like Alice. And she has the same favorite gift as Alice, which is a green tea smoothie, but she also likes minced jackfruit pie. She runs the Coral Inn basically by herself, but the reason why I'm gonna put her in the B tier, which is like 2 tiers above Alice, is because she actually has quite a personality and a story, and I adore her, so I'm gonna just put her there. Not to spoil too much of her story, but there's a argument that she ends up having with her sister, and I obviously like took her side. So there's that. Ew, next up is Surya. I'm just kidding. Surya's pretty nice also, but I'm like just not into it. He's a marine biologist at the laboratory, so you think, oh, like he's also a marine biologist, you should have. But he lives with Joko and Dinda, who are his aunt and uncle, and his cousin Archie, of course. His birthday is the 25th of fall, and I just don't like his personality at all. I think that he's just super annoying for some reason. Every time that he, like, there's like a cutscene with him, I'm always like, I want to skip it, but I don't because I'm nosy. But his favorite gifts are pufferfish, melon, and herb tempeh. I must be mispronouncing all these things, but like I said, you're going in the D tier. I wouldn't talk to you if I wasn't a perfectionist. We should just rename this entire tier I wouldn't talk to you if I weren't a perfectionist. Next up is one of my personal favorites, Theo. Theo is Lily's brother. His birthday is the 11th of fall, and he likes to play the guitar and sing, so you'll usually catch him around the docks, or like maybe in like the main square, just like playing the guitar and just vibing. He has also like a storyline with a piano that I enjoy. And his favorite gifts are octopus, yellow moray eel, whole coconut drink, and fish tacos. I usually just spam him with octopuses, octopi, because it's just the easiest thing to get. But he's so sweet, and I adore him, so I'm gonna put him in S. I always like, it is him and Mark fighting, because he's super sweet, and Mark's kind of like icky. Mark is enemies to lovers, and Theo is like besties to lovers. She's indecisive. She can't decide. She keeps on looking from left to right. Next up is our resident K-pop boy, Wakuu, and I'm just gonna immediately put him in S. Just so you know, I'm just gonna put him in S, but let me introduce him first. So this is Wakuu. He lives between the lighthouse and the observatory. He's actually a Wataru, who's the person that takes you to Coral Island on his boat's son. He dyes his hair literally in every season, so like his outfits are always like kind of fire because they match with his hair color. His birthday is the 8th of winter, and he's legit like an astrophysicist, so like I think that that's super cool. And there's like that whole storyline, and I don't know if you watched my previous Sims video, probably not, but I have a Sim named Yosefi who is also a forbidden stargazer, so I always have a soft spot for that kind of character. His favorite gifts are chocolate chip muffins, salmon, and vegan tacos, which are all pretty easy to find. You can get chocolate chip muffins from Raj's coffee stand, and salmon is just like, you fish it. So of course he's going in S. And I might rearrange these for like, actually, I don't think in any Let me just stop that sentence before I say something dumb. Okay, so we're ending off on literally all of like the best characters. So this is Yuri. She's a doctor, and her birthday is the 28th of summer. She likes playing pool and chess. She lives on Garden Lane with Millie. She's Millie's roommate, so like it's 2 besties. So she likes to hang out at the beach shack most of the time, and also like right next to like Sam's. So she's pretty easy to find, and her favorite gifts are chocolate chip muffins, which are also easy to get, lobster, and frogfish, which is so random. But you know, I'm gonna put her in S. I enjoy her cutscenes. Next is literally like the best cutscenes in the game come from this character. This is Zarah. Zarah is an adventurer, and she legit lives on a boat, so like how cool is that? She's constantly searching for like artifacts and buried treasure and like gems, and one of the cutscenes have to do with searching for something, and it's super yes. So her birthday is the 16th of summer, and she legit lives, like I said, on her boat, which is usually docked next to Scott's. Her favorite gifts are hummus from Bhutan and grilled fish. So I'm gonna put her, I don't know where I'm gonna put her. I think that I might just stick her in a B. Once again, like the best cutscenes in the game, in my opinion. She's like constantly looking for things. So like most of the time you'll catch her on the beach with like a metal detector, or like in the forests, which is super cool, but she's just not my cup of tea. So that is the ranking for, oh, I keep like rearranging things ever so slightly and it's so annoying. So these are the rankings for the human characters, but we're gonna get into the mer characters, which are usually my favorite, because if you didn't know, that's so annoying, hang on. How long has I been like that? Did I just shift everything? I feel like I keep messing things up. Anyway. Yeah, if you didn't know, in 2024, there's going to be an update where you can literally date the Princess of Mermaids. Literally the Princess of Mermaids. And she's, like, immediately on your side. When she's... I don't know how to crop her. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm just going to make her super tiny. I'm going to put her immediately in S because she's a mermaid. I feel like all the mermaids are going to be in S. Actually, she's got an interesting mystery going on, because if you go into her room... I'm pretty sure that there's a picture of an NPC at Coral Island that we all know and love. So actually, I'm gonna pop her in. We don't really know much about her, really. She's kind of like giving Ariel vibes, which is kind of basic, but it's like, she's not going in A, but it's like, is she going in B or S? B or S? BS. BS, B. There's not really any cutscenes with the merfolk other than the actual like cleaning up the ocean type stuff. So I'm just gonna pop her there. This is Semeru. Semeru is also, I think I have a thing for people with scars. So that's a little interesting thing that I've learned about myself. Oh, and by the way, all the mermaids don't have like determined birthdays or like gifts, because literally you can't give them anything. It's like he lives in the barrack. And he's like the head of the guard, so he's like got that whole thing. And he also, I feel like, is going to be enemies to lovers. I feel like in my Bazillionaire playthrough, because if you didn't know, if you played the beta and early access, you were able to carry over the money that you had into like your next save. So I'm actually super duper rich on the current save that I'm playing. And I feel like in that save, I'm just going to wait until the mermaids become dateable, because I'm choosing him. I will choose him. And I think that, like, a fun fact about the mermaids, they're all named after mountains and volcanoes, which is cool. Next up is, like, my favorite bestie, Denali. She kind of looks tired there. Anyway, so she is one of the guards. She's a royal gatekeeper along with Agung, who I wish was dateable, but unfortunately he is not. But there's not really known about them. She's kind of like good cop, where Agung is bad cop. And her tail looks like a koi fish, which I think is like super cute. But like I said, there's not really much about her other than like the cutscenes that have to do with story purposes. But from what I've seen of her, I think that she's like an A or a B. So I'm gonna put her in A, just because I think that she's a little more. There's a little more to know about her than Princess Miranjani. I feel like I'm saying her name so wrong. It's either Miranjani or Miranjani. I feel like I have such terrible pronunciation. Am I gonna look up the pronunciation? Probably not. But with that, we have completed the Coral Island Dateable tier list. So this is my final verdict. This is the most correct thing that you will get. So let's have a little recap. So, of course, like, these are all my faves. So I feel like I'm gonna obviously move Semeru to the top. And next to him will probably be Theo, and then Mark and Wakuu. Actually, no, let's do this in this order. I think this is the order of the top tier. This is the only thing that I will rearrange, because I feel like if I rearrange anything else, it's just going to mess up everything that I've done. As I mentioned before, they're actually doing a popularity contest to see what is the most popular dateable character. I wish that Agung was dateable, but he is not. Unfortunately, there's 2 female mermaids and 1 male mermaid. I feel like he would have been the perfect one to balance things out. What? That might come in the future, but who knows. So this is my tier list. If you disagree, then you are just simply incorrect. I have literally hundreds of hours in this game. So I think that I know a little bit about something. So not only do I have allergies that are fucking with me, bro, I have to go wee.
Foolishness. Foolishness TMI, sorry. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and I'll see you later. Vibes! Hold me closer, tiny dancer. That's terrible. That's terrible. I need to do another one.